What's the deal, y'all? It's your boy Machiavelli Mills TV. Now, I watched LeVar Ball's interview on ESPN First Take. I watched his whole interactions with Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, and Molly Qerim, and I have to be honest. I don't think LeVar was trying to be sexual at all when he answered Molly Qerim's question. I think he was simply answering the question. I don't think he was trying to give off any sexual innuendo when he replied what he replied. I don't think he was trying to flirt with Molly at all. So let's revisit what the question was that Molly asked him. I wrote it down. So in talking to LeVar, they had him up there to discuss his son being traded away from the Los Angeles Lakers, and they wanted to get his reaction about everything and how he felt about the whole process and how things went down and everything like that, right? So Molly asks him, LeVar, can I switch gears with you? Because I have a question here. And he replies, you can switch gears with me anytime. And then she says, let's stay focused here. Now, I think she thought that LeVar was trying to be flirtatious with her because LeVar is such a jovial person. He has really quick-witted remarks. So I think that she's thinking that, he's trying to be fresh with me. He's trying to be flirtatious with me or anything like and stuff like that, right? But if you were to look at LeVar Ball's face, if you could see his facial expression, I didn't see him smirk. I didn't see him grin. He looked like he had a serious face, and I think he was basically telling her that yes, we can go ahead and change subjects at any point in the conversation that you want to. He was simply answering her question. Now I sat and thought to myself like, what could change? You can change gears with me anytime. What else could that be interpreted as, right? Now I've heard my fair share of sexual innuendo over my 26 years of living. I don't switch gears. Switch gears it can't mean anything else besides changing the subject. Can we switch gears? Can't mean anything else but can we change the subject? Now I've heard people say, oh yeah, I got a nice gear shift you can ride, or let's knock boots or something like that. I heard people say things like that, but I've never heard anybody try to be flirtatious by saying you can change gears with me anytime. Like, you can switch gears with me anytime. And he did like this when he said it. Like, yeah, switch gears. Like, what are y'all talking about? I think Molly was overthinking the whole situation because she thinks that LeVar is just this over-the-top guy that's just always trying to be fresh. Always, when I say fresh, like he's always trying to come with a smart remark, or he's trying to be over the top. He's flirtatious, or he's just a person that will say anything. I think she thinks he's an impulsive person, so she was guessing that he was trying to be flirtatious with her. But I don't think that was LeVar's aim at all. Truthfully, I sincerely think he was just responding with her question. She said, can I switch gears with you? He said, you can switch gears with me anytime. Meaning, yeah, let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. We can change the subject and talk about the next subject, truthfully. And I think for whatever reason, for the reason that she thinks LeVar is an impulsive person, I think she took it. Her mind went somewhere else when he said that because she thinks he's this impulsive person. Let me just say this, man. LeVar is a very calculated person. Despite him being over the top at times and saying things about his sons that we may disagree with, although I think he's just speaking life into his sons. I think, of course, he says things that we don't agree with about his sons, but LeVar is not a dumb person. Make no mistake about it. You can't get this far in his whole media frenzy that was started around the time that Lonzo was at UCLA. You can't get this far and be on shows like this being a stupid person. I think LeVar knows better than to say something like that on national TV. I think that ESPN jumped, and especially when Molly reacted that way, I don't know. Had Molly never said anything, or had she never responded let's stay focused here, I don't think ESPN would have been trying to reprimand LeVar or try to, say that what he said was inappropriate. I think they did it because Molly said something, and because at this point I think people are just getting tired of LeVar, even though they had him on the show. I think that now that it's easy to try to attack LeVar now because things didn't pan out for his son in Los Angeles as a Laker, and he's getting traded now. So, it's easy to try to come at LeVar now, Listen, I don't agree with everything LeVar does. I don't agree with everything that he says, but I do believe he has a ruling class mentality, which I am all for. I'm all for him building an empire for his sons to have, even though money was being taken out, as we have saw. He has to manage that money and not be so trustworthy of anybody. Of everybody and anybody. He has to manage the money more carefully. But I like the whole idea of what Big Baller Brand represented, a family brand that will be there to provide financial prosperity for not just Lavar, for his sons, for their grandchildren, for their kids, and so on and so forth. It was a brand that was created to develop generational wealth, so I salute Lavar and his family and his boys on that. But I don't think he was trying to be sexual at all. I think ESPN is just, I think people are just I think they think he's just an impulsive person, and they think he's so irrational that he'll go up there and say something like that. And I'm telling y'all, Lavar is a lot smarter than what people think. He wouldn't do nothing like that. He wouldn't try to be flirtatious and say nothing just completely disrespectful, something completely outrageous like that on the show. And again, what else could "you can change gears with me anytime" or "you can switch gears with me anytime" mean besides changing the subject? I really don't. I just think Molly went there because she thinks he's an impulsive person who's bound to just say off the wall things. Lavar will say off the wall things, and he will have off the wall basketball takes, and he'll say things about coaches, but I don't think he would get up there and, first of all, I've never seen Lavar. I don't think Lavar would get up there and try to openly lobby for the affections or the attention of other women on camera. I don't think he would do that. I really don't. He know his wife watching. I don't think that's the image that he wants to give off, because it would affect his brand terribly. And everybody that knows Lavar, he's all about that Triple B movement. He's all about advancing his movement forward. I don't think that man is trying to damage his company's reputation by trying to bring on any sexual harassment lawsuits. And he already know. He's seen all of how the Me Too movement has been playing out for other entertainers and other people of high stature. He ain't trying to go down that road at all. So I don't think that's what Lavar was doing. But it's just the climate that we're in now, this climate that everybody's on edge. We're in a politically correct climate, so I think everybody's just listening for certain keywords, and they're overthinking things at times. This is a situation where I think they were overthinking. I really do. I really think they were overthinking, and I think people they overreacted to it. Again, Lavar Ball, may he switch gears, which he did make the movement about switching gears, and he had a straight face on his face the whole time. He didn't smirk. He didn't smile at her. He didn't wink or nothing like that. So I'm like, I didn't take that as being sexual, or I didn't take that as being flirtatious at all. So I don't know, man. But again, I think everybody is a lot of people are tired of LeVar Ball. They're tired of seeing him. And I think people are just anticipating him to say something outrageous to the point where they think, oh, he's not above saying this, he's not above saying that, so we got to watch it when he says this, because he could be meaning this, he could be meaning that. No. Observe that man's body language, listen to what he said and how he said it, and then you can determine it from there. He didn't say, "You can switch gears with me anytime, baby. You can switch gears with me anytime, baby." He didn't say nothing like that at all. So I'm looking like, I didn't take that as sexual. I really didn't. And maybe y'all think I'm tripping, but I really didn't take it as sexual. And I think a lot of people overreacted and are jumping the gun a bit. Truthfully, like even the whole situation with Christine Leahy, when he told her to stay in her lane, and she took that as, "Are you threatening me?" And I'm looking like, what the hell? No, he didn't say anything to threaten you. He didn't say, "I'm going to cause harm to you." He didn't say, "I'm going to attack you." He didn't say, I'm going to do this or do that to you. They just take it that way because he's an outspoken person. He's a person that he will speak his mind. He will speak it strongly, and he'll give it to you cut and dry. He'll give it to you straightforward. He's a straightforward person. So I think people are taken aback by that, and they're thinking, oh, he's saying this. When he's saying that, he means this and he means that. No, interpret the person, listen to what he says, and take him for what he says. So even with, and look, I don't have no beef with Molly Qerim. I'm not one of these guys that love to talk down on Molly. I think Molly's a beautiful woman. I think she's talented. She's the wife of Jalen Rose, another guy who I respect. I think she does a great job despite people saying she cuts people off too much. I'm not here to bash Molly. I just think she was overthinking the whole situation. Same thing with Jemele Hill. I think when Jemele went on Twitter and said what she said about, I don't know I forgot what she said. Maybe something that she said. And I'm looking like, I think Jemele was overthinking that situation as well. I don't think Lavar was trying to come off as trying to be flirtatious or he wasn't trying to slide in on this woman. For real. He know that's that man Jalen Rose's wife. He not trying to be disrespectful to that man's wife. Nah, man. I really don't. I think people just overthinking it. The climate that we're in right now, it has people on edge and has people listening for key words that they hear to try to think, could this mean something else? Could this mean that? Could it mean this? Again, I heard people say, I got a gear shift you can ride or something like that when they're trying to be sexual, but I never heard anybody say we can switch gears for you to as a sexual term. I really what else could that mean in that context of conversation besides let's switch the subject, And listen, I'm not a misogynist. I'm not a person that's act like I'm oblivious to women's issues or the fact that there is sexual harassment going on in many workplaces. I understand that. I speak out against that. I made videos about other men being too damn thirsty to calm down and stop in your tracks and stop trying to salivate over women at their job and force yourself over women at work. Force yourself on women at work. It's despicable. It's clowned out. Chill out. You look ridiculous. So I speak out against sexual harassment against women for sure. But in this instance, I don't think Lavar was trying to come off sexually to her. I just think that everybody just, they think of Lavar, they have this picture painted of Lavar, and they think he's this guy that, he'll say anything, he'll do anything. Lavar's not the type of person I don't think he would try to touch on a woman. I don't think he would try to slide a woman his digits and trying to flirt with her. And I don't know. Nah, that man loved that company too much to put it at risk like that. And you can say, well, he put it at risk when he entrusted his friend who was previously locked up for embezzlement. So he didn't really love his company that much at the time. But again, that was him trusting a family friend and somebody that he had love for. But I think he loved that Triple B's movement too much for him to put it at risk like that. And that's just me being truthful, man. And yeah, man, I think ESPN just overreacting to that situation. Again, I hope the best for Lonzo, his boy. I saw LaMelo on TV, and I'm looking like LaMelo gonna be a stud, man. That dude tall and lanky, and I think he gave up I think he's going overseas to play in Australia to get better as a pro and to make his money. But I also believe he took away his amateur status when he went to go play overseas in high school. So I think that was a done deal. And Lavar was trying to find a way around it, but I don't think they could. So he's going on to play overseas. I wish him the best of luck. But yeah, man, I don't think people should villainize Lavar for this situation because I don't think he was trying to slide at her. I don't think he was trying to go on TV and publicly flirt with this woman, this married woman on TV, and try to get all these eyes on him. I think that's the least thing he was trying to do. That was the last thing he was trying to do, truthfully. So yeah, man, I think people just thinking too far into it, and they just think he's just this abrasive person who will just spew anything for ratings, and that's not the look. Lavar, I think he believes a lot of the stuff that he says out of his mouth, but I don't think he would just say anything for ratings. I think he says what he truly feels, and I think he says things for the better interest of his sons, for his boys, and his company, and that's it. Flirting with Molly Qerim on TV is not for the betterment of his company or for his children his boys that play basketball at all, or for the betterment of his family. So he wouldn't do that at all. That's just my opinion, y'all. Tell me what y'all think. Peace.